Welcome to GLS Carriers Presents Team Talk. I'm Ken Cox. Today we've got Kenny.
Howdy.
And Francis is out.
Howdy.
Howdy.
I'm Francis.
How many vacations does he get a year?
All of them.
Yeah.
I think he's taking some of yours. He's taking some of Breezy's.
Is that a free donation?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think he freely takes them. And we are Drivers for Drivers. So this week we're talking a little bit. We've already gone through July 4th, and hopefully you have all your digicals still. I have all 7 of mine, so we're good to go.
You only got 7.
Math is hard.
7.
And we want to know what you guys did or saw while you're on the road. So we had quite a few drivers that were off that spent time with their family and their loved ones, which is awesome, and we love it. Got to be able to have a break there, put the truck away, go out and have a good time.
I wonder if they seen any cool fireworks shows on the road, too, the guys that stayed out.
I know when I was rolling down the road, for the several years I was rolling, the bigger cities usually showed a lot, and as you're going through the smaller towns, you'd see a little every once in a while. But some of those bigger cities, if you time it just right.
Probably seen my neighbor's fireworks this year.
I was going to say, what did you guys do? Is that all you did, Kenny, was watch the neighbor? You didn't have to go anywhere because the neighbors were doing some stuff? Or
Oh, that's every year. I sit outside with a fire hose. It's got some pretty big fireworks. I know when we used to go through Vegas over the 4th, boy, they always put on a good show.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen Vegas during that time. I guess they've got the new Sphere out there. There's a great big dome, and all the outside it's all like LED lights, something like that. And they had a big American flag thing going on, and I guess it looked pretty dapper.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Heard you got to see a cannon.
Yeah. So a buddy of ours, every year they put together a 4th of July breakfast. We raise the flag, listen to the national anthem, and then it's an old Civil War cannon, and they'll light it off, and it's the concussion. Yeah, it shakes you in your boots. It's pretty neat.
Pretty patriotic.
I think so.
Raising the flags and cannons.
Yeah.
Boom. Yeah. Bring us back to our roots.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever gone up to Sun Valley and seen the fireworks over I want to say there's like a lake or something over there. I don't know if it's Sun Valley. Anyway, I just remember going one year with my friend. We went up north and watched the fireworks over the lake, and it was beautiful. So I'll have to find out where that was.
Anytime there's water and fireworks, it's got to be cool.
Oh, yeah.
Twice the show.
So Sarah's dad, me old father-in-law, he put on the fireworks show on the small island in Alaska that they live on.
Oh.
And they put it out on a barge. So you're sitting on the island, and there's this barge, and people from all over the world come to this little island just for the fireworks show. And I mean, you got people in these $1 million yachts that'll come up and watch it, and it is spectacular. The one year that we were up there was not so spectacular, and that's the only year that he didn't do it. And it like boom, 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 and then there was like 10 that went off, and that was it. And we were like, "No, this is disappointing." What I'm told, it is out of this world.
About my luck this weekend, we went razoring, and my razor took a poop.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, about 40 miles from anywhere. Luckily, I had some buddies with me.
Oh, no.
Got to get towed in, and that was real fun.
No good.
Good.
Was it the engine? Did the engine just...
I think I lost
Poop out,
fuel
or-
pump.
Oh, yeah, that's not fun.
Go.
Yeah. Then getting towed in, lost my brakes.
Oh,
Ended up taking my pickup. Luckily, it wasn't on the 4th. It was on the 3rd.
Oh, the 3rd. That's fine then. Yeah,
How much more independent can you get?
that's right.
well, yeah, I'd be interested to hear what you guys are seeing out on the road. So
Yeah.
definitely put that in the comments. We'd like to see that. And if you take pictures like Cindy and Cindy does, take some pictures if you haven't already, I guess that you'd have to have already taken
They
them.
already have taken them. Throw them in there. Yeah, for those people who don't get the awesomeness of being on the road, right? Send in what you do out there during the 4th and what you see out there on the 4th. You know, for Danny here, he doesn't. You know, he's not been in a truck. He doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't know what it's like.
You know, there's quite a few people that don't, and so I think it'd be kind of neat. So do it.
Yeah, and if you don't have if fireworks aren't your thing, what are some of your 4th of July traditions? Is there like a special food like a salad that you have?
Maybe that you drink a bunch of tea.
Yeah. Or a movie. Is there a movie you guys like to watch? Like, I have a friend that watches The Patriot every year.
Oh, really?
Puts that on, and so. Yeah.
Independence Day with Will Smith.
Yeah.
Dang you aliens. Something like that.
Yeah. That was, anyway. I do have a question for you guys.
Ooh, lay it on us.
So, I'd like to know if you guys have any tips for getting better gas mileage. I was just telling Kenny, like, every time you talk about the guys and gals that have the best
Fuel mileage.
fuel mileage for the month. Fuel mileage, not gas.
There you go.
Sorry.
I was going to call you out. Please don't put Petro in our
Yeah,
diesels.
sorry about that. The best fuel mileage. I'm always like, man, how do they do that? How do you get better fuel mileage? So wondering if you guys had some tips and tricks on how to get better fuel mileage.
It's a good segue because we also wanted to talk about tires and some new fanciness that's coming about. But obviously air pressure in your tires. And a good way to keep that and check that, you know, when you guys are doing your pre-trips, which you have been, and, you know, we really appreciate that. You know, we have the halo systems that are on these tires, right? Well, they're on the rims, but they have opposing pistons in there, and they work on centrifugal force. So as it's going down the road, when it's in and out, in and out, in and out, and it keeps those tires at 100 psi. So when you stop for the night and you get up in the morning, or you stop in the morning and get up at night, you know,
Imagine how that works.
you know, check that off of that halo system. There's 2 valve stems on the halo system, so you don't have to get way back in there and try and get that rear tire because it'll check it for you know, it's up front. But check them. If you check it and it's about 100 psi, that's where they need to be. If you check another one and it's at 20 psi, you know you've got an air leak in that tire somewhere, typically from a screw or nail
Or plugged line.
could be a plug line as well. And then you're just running those tires out. So when Mike and I were teaming to Alaska, you know, we were checking at both ends quite a bit because of the temperature swing from one point to the other point. And we noticed that this tire was wearing a little bit funny, and we would check it, and it wouldn't come up to 100. You know, it was about 20, 30 pounds off every time. And we're like, huh. Well, eventually we got it fixed. It happened to be what was in there? I think it was a big piece of rebar that was like all the way in there, and you could barely see it. You know, it was probably 2-3 inches. And so we ended up getting it fixed, but yeah, we almost lost a tire. And if you keep your tire pressure the way you should, and you're always checking those, I mean, on those drive tires, with those Michelins, you'll get 300,000 miles out of them.
Dang.
So
It's quite a few miles.
That is pretty good.
yeah, steer tires a little bit different because they're always moving, but those drive tires, 300, 325 is not out of the question at all.
Dang.
We did start a new account over here at Jack's Tire.
Yep.
There's a Jack's here in Twin and one in Boise. I think we can use both.
Yep.
We're going to be offering casing credits for all of our owner-operators and dedicated guys. They're more than happy to use our national accounts to get a discount. Plus, we'll pay you for your casings if they are good. Naturally, casings with steel belts showing are probably not good.
Big gashes in the sidewalls, things like that.
Yeah.
Can't run it down into the secondary rubber. You got to, make sure you get them swapped out before then. But yeah, you'll have money in your pocket because of that.
Yeah.
So with that, we're no longer going to be taking our trucks and trailers to the yard to get it done unless it's emergency or we have to get it done. We'll start using Jacks here in Twin if we can. Boise we can as well because we've got some fellers and fellettes that
Live up in that area.
live up in that area, and they'll keep tires on store for us, in store for us, in storage, on
In stock.
storage, in stock.
So the best thing to do is if you're giving up some good casings off your drives or something, just send you a.
Yeah, let me know
Notice it.
for sure, because I want to make sure you guys are getting the credits where credit is deserved,
And
Good or bad.
good or bad. Yeah.
how do they get a hold of you?
So safety@glscarriers.com. Comment below.
Yeah, we'll get a hold of you.
Either way, just one way or another, let me know. Don't text me on my phone because I'll just block you, Jake.
But that's because he keeps sending you
Credit where credit's
emojis.
due.
Emojis. So Jake's done a lot of cool stuff with his truck. He's got an older Freightliner that he's putting some money into, and it's looking pretty dapper. Jake, send some pictures in. I have a few of them, but send some more pictures in so we can throw that on.
Yeah, can I put it right here?
Bloop.
There we go. Possibly.
Possibly.
If we got some. If not, then we won't.
Ashiblev, dankjewel.
So tires is a good way. Are there any other ways of improving that gas mileage?
Idle.
Oh, fuel mileage. Sorry.
Fuel mileage. I'm going to break you of that one day.
I know. I'm sorry.
Probably physically.
Idle time is a big one. If you just letting the truck run constantly, it's just going to eat up your fuel mileage. Sit and wait at the receiver. If it's 70 degrees outside and a little breeze, just roll down your windows. That 5-6 hours of idling just takes it.
That's 5 or 6 gallons. I believe these Freightliners, a gallon an hour. I believe. Maybe it's just a little bit less than that, but I think that's what it is. If I'm wrong, call me out, let me know, and then we can get that corrected, but I think it's a gallon an hour.
That's quite a bit. If they're there 5 hours,
There's 5 gallons, 5 in the
$20 worth
Yeah.
of fuel, but it's going to take that fuel mileage down.
Yeah, $20 is
Yeah.
$20. Plus, you're putting added stress on your after your DEF system,
There you go.
after treatment system. That's what it is.
Yeah, that parked regen is not always fail safe.
Mm-mm.
We've had some issues with that,
Yeah.
but
So on that note, like I think last week you guys were talking about some of the new trucks we have.
So the internationals.
Yeah, and they've got some technology that's
So it's got
helping with that.
Yep, an electronic APU, auxiliary power unit, and it runs off of a set of, I think, 4 batteries. And so it'll run you all through the night. You'll have air conditioning, heating, you'll be able to use your inverter, all of that fun stuff. And then when those batteries are depleted, the truck will turn on automatically, charge those batteries back up, and then shut off again. And I wanted to say Albert, he's got a lot of use in it, with it. And he said it doesn't start a whole bunch. He's going to be looking at fuel mileage and hand calculating it as well. And so we look forward to those numbers. I think they're going to come out a little bit better than what's on the reports. So I think he'll come up closer to 8 miles a gallon.
wow.
Dang.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not like he's just driving, 55 miles an hour going down the road. I mean, because he gets to point A to point B, obviously he does it within the parameters of the speed limits and the law, and he does it safely. But I think he'll be up closer to the 8. Charles is with us again, and thanks for coming back.
Welcome back, Charles.
And he's hopped into an international, so looking forward to see what he has to say about those. And then Robbie is hopping into another one. He wants that $6,000 savings a month ish, approximately. Like you save a lot of money. I can't believe it's just ridiculous.
So we got tires, technology. There was another one you guys. Oh, the idle time.
A clean truck will get better fuel mileage. It's science.
Yeah, those bugs got some wind resistance.
That's right. Keeping your tires rotated and alignment will also help. Will not only keep your tires with tread longer, but the alignment. That's what the alignment does. But rotating them will help with the fuel mileage as well, and you'll get longer tread with that, which also Jack does. Jack's Tire and Oil also does the rotations and alignments. And they do
True alignments too, not a laser align where they tow everything in.
Yeah,
Yeah, it goes straight down the road, but your tires are facing like this, so there's a little bit of resistance there.
yeah.
I remember what it was. You had mentioned something about speed. Is there an optimal speed for optimal fuel?
Each truck is different. And you got to kind of play with it. A lot of it, like the lower RPMs and staying in that final gear, will also help with that. But if your turbo pressure, right, is really high and you're doing that, then like more air comes in, needs more fuel. So you keep the RPMs low, you keep your turbo pressure down, and your speed just right, it will get you better fuel mileage.
If you leave your foot on the floor all day long, does that give you good fuel mileage?
No. Yeah, I had to think about that because it's science.
Yes. This is a very scientific show.
You're talking about the Internationals having that startup charge a battery deal. Do the Freightliners have the same thing?
They do. They have Opti idle. So if you get parked for the night or you're at a shipper receiver, you can turn on your Opti idle. There's two ways of doing it. You can do interior comfort mode off or interior comfort mode on. Interior comfort mode off, and with that in conjunction with your bunk heater during the colder months works amazing because your bunk heater will cook you out. Like it's make sure that it's working, but it'll cook you out. And when the battery gets low enough, your truck will start. It'll probably run for about 2 hours and then charge that battery way up, and then it turns back off again. If you keep interior comfort mode on, so that you've got the three dials up front and 3 dials in back for temperature, fan speed. You want your fan speed about 4 or 5 clicks, and then you want that temperature gauge not all the way down to cold, because what it'll do is the system doesn't recognize that. It'll run once, shut off, and then won't turn back on. You want it not quite in the middle. You want it about a third up there, and it's about 68, 67 degrees. And then, you can go warmer than that as well, but that's about as low as you want to go with it. And then the computer recognizes that, and it'll start and stop depending on what the temperature is on the cab.
Only on the heat mode, or on cool too?
It'll do cooling as well.
So it'll start up and cool the truck back down.
Yep.
Oh.
And it starts and stops a little bit more than like the International would, but that's also it's gonna save you fuel in the long run. And right now, other than your truck being the biggest expense, fuel is the second largest expense on the road.
I agree.
So is there any myths of things that people believe are going to be helping them with their fuel economy that aren't helping?
Clean trucks.
Yeah.
But it's science.
But is there anything like that? Like maybe they think fuel really comes in only one grade, right? You don't get...
Well, you've got winter fuel and you've got, summer fuel. The winter fuel's got a little bit more cetane in it.
Sounded like science.
It's got more special sauce in it. So it helps lubricate and doesn't gel as much. Right.
But that's not something you'd control, right?
Right.
That's just what...
So diesel number 2 is typically what you'll find out there on the road. And a lot of people will say, this mystery juice that I bought from this guy's brother, gets me better fuel mileage. Well, I have not seen the data on that. I couldn't say for sure. I do know Detroit recommends Eco Clean 2 for their Detroit engines. And they say it works very much more gooder, but
yeah, that's a good
cleans your injectors, cleans your fuel lines. Obviously a fully functional injector is going to perform a lot better than one that's clogged.
How often do you have to do maintenance like that? Is that something we do when trucks come through the yard, or is that just
as far as like fuel systems and stuff like that?
Yeah, making sure they're cleaned out. And
typically, we never really put anything in ours. I can't really speak to that and say for sure. I don't know. I think about the 100,000 mark, they do something there, but I'm not 100% sure. A good way to know if you need to or not is to watch your fuel mileage, and if it starts going down, right? And a lot of, like, I recommend doing hand calculations, right? You take your gallons and your miles and divide them, and that's what your fuel mileage is, right? And if you're doing that consistently and you're like, oh, hey, you know, this month I was getting 7 gallons a mile, and then next month, you know, you were getting 6 miles a gallon, you know, there's a big difference there. Is it because of weather? Is it because of the driving?
Right.
Or is it because there's something mechanical or non-mechanical in my engine that's down to I have plugged fuel filters? You know, when was the last time I had those changed?
Yeah.
Am I fueling somewhere that I haven't fueled before, and maybe there was something in the fuel? You know, there's a bunch of things there, but as you start whittling away and looking at it and doing your troubleshooting, you're like, okay, you know, my air filter hasn't been changed in 150,000 miles, which is, you know, not good. That's probably a tribute to lower fuel mileage, right? So
Knowing your numbers, knowing your business, you know, that goes with any company or business. If you don't know, and you just shooting at the dark, you know.
Yep.
Getting it dialed in goes a long ways. I know that a lot of these trucks come with the thermal curtains to keep the sun out for optimal temp inside. That does help. It'll stay cooler when it's hot out. I used to put a light tint on there to keep the UV rays out. A lot of guys don't like the tint for backing up at dark, but it does help keep the air conditioning cool when you're going down the road. You know, if the sun's beating on you, AC may be working fine, but it doesn't feel fine because you're sunburnt on this side of your body. You know, those are big windows in there. But when you're just sitting, if you just pull them curtains, you know, it'll keep a lot of that heat out of there too. And if you got it on the opti-idle, that'll help.
Opti-idle will help. And I always liked it cold. Like, I don't like being hot. I don't like sitting there in my own sweat for days on end.
No.
And so, I mean, I would typically run the truck a little bit longer during the heated months, you know. The cold months was perfect. You know, I
always
12
cracked
degrees.
a window when I used my bunk heater.
Yeah.
Because, boy, that thing would get hot in there.
Super warm.
Just wake up flush. But
Speaking to running your own business, like if you get in the truck and you just get behind the wheel and you just go, you're gonna lose money. You won't be successful in this industry doing that. And to talk, you know, with what you were saying, like you got to know what your fuel mileage is. You got to know your numbers. You got to know those things in order for you to be profitable and to make it.
yeah, which is why we send out fuel lists, you know. I think every pilot Flying J is on that fuel list.
It is.
Where you buy your cheapest fuel en route, you know, if they use those tools. I mean, some of these are $1 off cash price at the pumps, you know, that's huge savings. But all this adds up to whether a guy's profitable or not profitable. We have to do it on our side as well with our company trucks, you know. Anymore, that's the way it has to be done.
It does.
You know, if you don't know your numbers and you're just putting an extra fueling on each trip that you didn't actually need, you know, you had 3/4 of a tank, but you wanted a free shower or something, and it's right at cutoff, well, you just spend another, you know, $300-400 that you could have had in your pocket on your payroll instead of in your fuel tank waiting for next payroll. You know, it goes a long way.
Know your numbers.
I don't know. That made me think.
Well, another thing is how far your trailer is away from your cab. Drag is a bunch when you're talking about aerodynamics. If you're always got it, your fifth wheel all the way back, you know, because you like to ride a little better. That drag between the cab and the front of your trailer, you know, it may only be 0.003% drag on there, but it does knock that fuel mileage down. If you're a half a mile per gallon difference, you add that up over a week.
That's
you know,
huge.
the many gallons you go through.
Yep. Francis, you got a safety? It's not
Oh
in here
man,
today.
Francis.
I even want to bring up, we got this dedicated customer that came on now. I think we're going on a month, and they are really hammering us with freight. So drivers should be happy with that. And a lot of our other dedicated customers have picked up too. So I think that's a good sign
It is.
for what's to come. Now, if the brokered rates had just come up,
Broker needs to come up, and with these rate increases, I mean, we have some trucks sitting, so, you know, throw us your recommendations, what's the word I'm looking for? Referrals. That's the word.
Referrals.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a referral.
I think
You
we
know.
still do have some new trucks
Yeah, got a couple in there.
available. It was nice to have Charles back.
It is. Yeah. I think so. There's the 3 Shreves. There's the third one's applied as well.
Really?
So we'll look at him and see if he can, you know, pass the tests, and then you know, get him in a truck and get him rolling down the road as well. It'll be a family affair.
Do they all sound alike too?
I think so. I mean, they all look a little bit different, you know, but yeah, they're all cut from the same cloth.
Great drivers.
Yes, absolutely. Danny, you got any more questions?
I don't. No, you guys really did help me out there to kind of see how these guys and gals that are getting that better fuel mileage, what they're doing.
He said fuel again.
I said fuel.
We
That's right.
We should hug afterwards.
Okay, we will. It's a
You want-
deal.
You got anything else you want to add?
Well, yeah, you're the safety guy. What safety tip do you got?
Oh, geez.
Put you on the spot.
So the weather's getting hotter. Like all this week here in Twin, we're supposed to be 90s and above. That means Vegas is going to be 1 billion, you know, going through.
Dude, I saw an article that said that July 3rd was the highest world average temperature. Yeah, we're gonna
Global warming.
Yeah, we're gonna see some heat this year.
And so with those higher temperatures, hydrate.
That's your safety
That's
tip.
the same. Hey, look, hydrate. Okay, you want to make sure that you've got plenty of water, maybe a little bit of food. If you get stuck on the side of the road, something like that, what's going to save you from being a raisin or, you know, a healthy, productive individual in today's society is going to be water.
I don't think that's bad.
Pepsi don't cut it.
Pepsi doesn't cut it. There's some water in there. Yeah.
Probably not as much as sugar.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of sugar. The sugar and the caffeine, it helps, you know, as a diuretic, and it'll help, you know, remove the water. Make sure you stay hydrated.
Yeah, I feel like you should have known, Kenny, that he was going to bring up water when you asked that.
I got another one. It's either construction or winter.
Yep.
Those are the 2 seasons. There's a lot of construction going on. I think the government's doing some sort of bridge and road.
Yep, the
deal.
infrastructure bills come through, and there's a lot of that that's going on.
So let's be safe out there. Be courteous. Don't stay in the left lane
Yep, don't be
coming
that guy.
up there, and then cut over. I know you're bigger, but let's be courteous and move over.
Yeah, let them in. You know, it's only going to slow you down about 30 seconds, if that. You know, so let everyone in, get over there, just and don't need any accidents. You guys have been doing amazing.
They can run over on their logbook that 30 seconds, right? Put the safety guy on the spot again?
No,
No, is the right answer.
no, it's the right
Water.
answer.
Water. Drink lots of water.
You want to go over? You need water, hydration.
They could lighten their load if they're raisins, though. They might get better fuel
Well,
mileage.
that's true. Yeah. You know, 'cause science.
Yeah.
I don't got nothing else.
All right. Well, you guys, gals, we want to thank you for, you know, being safe, doing the right thing on the road. Remember, you're our eyes and ears. If you see something, say something. We succeed when you're home safely with your loved ones.
See you next time.
Bye.